I should have known. That's the thing that still haunts me. Deep down, I always knew how things would turn out, but I kept giving them chances. Hope, they say, is the cruelest liar. When Nathan proposed to me, it was the most magical moment of my life. He'd planned it under a sky full of stars, just us on the hill behind his family's lake house. He got down on one knee, his voice shaking, the ring catching moonlight, and when I said yes, he whispered, "Let's build a life that never lets you feel unseen again." I cried, not just because of him, but because someone finally saw me, truly saw me. Please subscribe to our channel and tell me in comments from where are you watching this video. Naturally, I wanted to share that moment with the people who were supposed to love me the most, my parents. But the moment I told them, I saw it, that flicker in their eyes, like they were happy for me, but not thrilled, not proud, not moved, and definitely not excited. My dad patted my shoulder like I'd told him I got a decent parking spot. Mom smiled with her lips, but her eyes were already elsewhere, probably planning Ryan's next big moment. My brother, the golden child, the prodigal son, the one who could mess up a dozen times and still be greeted like royalty. Ryan could show up late to Christmas, forget birthdays, crash cars, drop out of business school, and still be the sun in their universe. But me? I could cure cancer, and they'd ask if Ryan was okay. Still, I planned the engagement party. I chose a gorgeous vineyard venue tucked into the hills of our hometown, where the wind smelled like lavender and the trees swayed like they were part of a symphony. It had string lights draped through the trees, a rustic barn with a chandelier made of old wine bottles, and a long wooden table meant for laughter, toasts, and memories. Nathan's parents offered to split the cost, but I wanted to pay for it myself. I needed to. I wanted to prove I could do this on my own, make something beautiful for once in my life that wasn't overshadowed by Ryan. The invitations went out. Guests RSVP'd with excitement. Nathan's cousins from across the country booked flights. My best friend flew in early to help me choose flowers and sample desserts. It was real, tangible. I could feel it. Then, just 7 days before the event, I got the call. I was driving, and when I saw my mom's name flash on my screen, I smiled. I thought maybe she wanted to surprise me with something nice for the party. Maybe she was finally getting involved. But no. Her voice was too cheery, too rehearsed. "Hi, sweetie. Listen, your dad and I were thinking we might have to reschedule the engagement party. Ryan's coming back into town that weekend, and get this, he's bringing his new girlfriend. It's kind of last minute, but we thought it'd be perfect to host a little welcome BBQ. You know, invite the neighbors, get the grill out." I didn't respond. I couldn't. My fingers clenched the steering wheel so tight I thought I'd snap it. "Mom," I managed, "are you canceling my engagement party for Ryan's barbecue?" There was a pause. Just a second too long. Enough time for the truth to settle. "Oh, honey, don't say it like that. We just think it'll be better timing to celebrate you later, when things aren't so hectic. You understand, right?" Understand? Understand that once again I was disposable, that I had poured my heart into planning a once-in-a-lifetime event, only for it to be deemed less important than hamburgers and Ryan's flavor of the month girlfriend? I pulled the car over. I stared at the phone like it was something foreign, like it had just delivered a message from a parallel universe where logic didn't exist, where love was conditional and daughters came in two models, celebrated or forgotten. Nathan sat across from me that night, silent, watching me crumble. "I thought maybe," I said, voice hollow, "maybe this time would be different." "It still can be," he said. "Let's make it different ourselves." And that's when it hit me. I didn't need their permission anymore. I didn't need to shrink to make Ryan shine. I didn't have to wait to be chosen. I could choose myself. The very next morning, I drove back to the vineyard. The same woman who'd shown me around weeks before greeted me at the gate. "Everything all right?" she asked, noticing the storm behind my smile. "I have one question," I said. "Is this place for sale?" She blinked. "You mean the event space?" "No," I said. "All of it. The land, the buildings, the dream." It turns out the owners were older and thinking of retiring, and I wasn't just a bride-to-be anymore. I was a woman on a mission. I leveraged my savings. Nathan invested too. We called in favors, met with lawyers, and created a business plan. I spent nights poring over contracts and mornings walking the land with a vision in my heart. I wasn't just planning a party anymore. I was claiming the stage that was always denied to me. And as the ink dried on the final agreement, I looked out at that golden field, felt the breeze through my hair, and thought, this is mine. Not borrowed, not shared, not postponed. Mine. The next time my phone rang, it wasn't my mother's voice or my father's. It was a voicemail. Hi, sweetheart. We heard from Aunt Linda that you bought the vineyard. Well, that's quite something. Your father and I were surprised. Anyway, maybe we could all come by sometime. Maybe for dinner. Talk about how things have been. Ryan's been going through a rough patch, and we could use a little help. I didn't respond. Not right away. Because what do you say to the people who taught you that your dreams were disposable? That your moments were optional? That you were secondary? When they canceled my engagement party for Ryan's last-minute backyard barbecue, I thought that was the worst it could get. But the truth is, it wasn't just that one moment. It was years of invisible bruises, years of them handing him crowns and handing me crumbs. Every accomplishment I had, they found a way to tie it to him. Oh, your art was displayed in a gallery? You get that creativity from Ryan, you know. He used to be so good at drawing as a kid. You got promoted? That's great! Ryan's thinking about starting something similar. Maybe you two can team up, help him out. Their favoritism wasn't subtle. It was the air in the room. After buying the vineyard, I didn't just change my address. I changed my story. I stopped sending holiday invitations. I stopped calling to share news they never cared to hear. And I stopped waiting for apologies that would never come. But the vineyard? Oh, the vineyard flourished. My fiancé Nathan, who had stood by me through the chaos, became my business partner and my biggest cheerleader. We didn't just host our engagement party there, we transformed the property into one of the most sought-after event venues in the state. Couples came from all over just to get married under our 100-year-old oak tree wrapped in fairy lights. Every week we were fully booked. We planted new vines, added a rooftop terrace, opened a wine shop, and started hosting charity events and retreats. And all without a cent from my parents. The first time they actually showed up was unexpected. I was walking the grounds, clipboard in hand, checking flower arrangements for a wedding, when I saw them, my mother and father, standing by the front gate, looking out of place in their ironed clothes and hesitant expressions. They didn't recognize me at first. I had changed. Confidence looks good on a person. It changes posture, presence, tone. I wasn't the version of me who used to whisper, "It's okay," when they forgot to show up. I was the version who stopped explaining herself and started owning her space. My mom offered a brittle smile. We were just in the area. That was a lie. We were hours from their home. We were hoping to talk. Maybe see the place? My father's voice cracked slightly. I glanced toward the wedding that was already beginning. The bride, in soft ivory, was being walked down the aisle by her beaming father. I turned back to my own. Sorry, I said, voice even. We're closed to the public during private events. Come on, don't be like that, my mother said. We're family. That word, family. I stared at them, at the people who always said that word like a leash, like a debt owed, not a bond, not a home. I took a breath. When I called to ask why you skipped my engagement party, I said quietly, you laughed. You told me, and I quote, "It's just a party, not a wedding. You'll have more." But you didn't know that I cried myself to sleep that night. You didn't know that I almost canceled the wedding altogether because it wasn't just a party. It was a symbol. It was a chance for you to show me that I mattered. My mother shifted uncomfortably. My father looked away. And now, I continued, you want to step into what I've built like nothing happened? You canceled me over a barbecue, and now that Ryan's business failed and your golden son needs a hand, you remember me? There was silence. Finally, my father spoke. We made mistakes. We see that now. I nodded. Good. I'm glad you see it, but I'm not your lifeline. and I'm not here to fix what you broke with your choices. This place? My life? It's not yours to walk into whenever it's convenient. I stepped back. Please leave. I have a wedding to run. They stood there for a moment longer, stunned, perhaps hoping I would crack, that I would soften. But I didn't. I turned and walked away, toward the ceremony, toward the love that had never made me feel second best, toward a future that I had created entirely on my own. That night, Nathan and I stood beneath the stars, the lights of the vineyard twinkling all around us. He took my hand. "You did it," he said. I smiled. We did it. Deep inside, the need to be seen and chosen let go. I was free.